got a couple of knives whose opening mechanisms are a bit different. This Beretta, for example, which I like a lot. It is a nice knife. Fold that back up. This CRK2 frame lock, which is probably the knife I cut myself on the most when I first got it. Yep. And then some time ago, I bought this late one evening off GearBest or AliExpress, something like that, because it just looked a bit different. And a lot of reviews I've seen say, oh, it's really dangerous, or it's weird. Well, perhaps it's just plain innovative. It's certainly very, very different. It's not an original design. Inevitably, with the Chinese knife company, they've ripped off Scorpio Design in Germany, who make shapeshifters, which are very close to this, but generally a much better quality. So, how does it work? There's a safety there that keeps it locked shut. Well, there was a little bit of wiggle, and you can just see a tiny little bit of the blade pops out there. So, safety off. This little indent here locks into that safety. You can just about see the slide there between the two finger and thumb. So put that off, fold it up on itself, the blade pops out, snap it together. That's just a pressure lock. Pressure closure, I suppose. It doesn't actually lock it shut. And there's the knife. Nice guard there to stop your thumb finger even rolling on it. A little bit of jimping. So it does encourage you to sort of put the pressure in the right place to actually keep it folded shut. Although it would be tempted to put your thumb on there for a bit of extra grip. But that would then start closing the knife. But at least it won't chop your finger off. The blade runs on these little, just in there's a little sort of, what can I call a trunnion, I suppose, that, there you can see it just there, that rolls up and down inside that slot in the blade, and there's another one just there. And they've both got nylon washers, so they're reasonably friction free. This is quite a smooth, it's very smooth action actually. It's really, really nice. And there is a pink pocket clip which holds it in the sort of tip up position. Though I wouldn't keep it in a pocket. I think it's far too easy to roll that safety off. It's not exactly positive, and if that's in your pocket and you roll the safety off, you're going to start minor surgery in unwanted places. The blade is 3CR13 MOV, so it's bottom end steel for knives. It can be sharpened. It can be sharpened to have a very, very nice edge on it. Well, skin cells rather than hair. And it's not exactly sharp enough to do that really cool trick. And the blade shape is such a weird shape anyway. It doesn't really do this. But with a bit of assistance, it can be more than sharp enough for a small, slightly strange blade. Yep, that will do quite nicely. So what else can we say about this? It is odd, it is different. If you're not concentrating and you haven't actually learnt how it works, then yes, I suppose it could be dangerous. You just need to remember really that when you open it, hold it in your hand, Sanjia logo goes there, roll the safety off, bam, there we go, not very dangerous at all. This is UK EDC legal. Probably you may get into trouble with that as a kind of locking mechanism, although it doesn't really lock it into place. So is it a curio, a novelty, or an actual working knife, or indeed a very clever design, although not original? It's probably all three. I think people are going about the novelty value of these things. Disregard that it is a usable knife. You can, I've just demonstrate, you can get it quite sharp. It won't stay that sharp forever because it's cheap steel, but again, it's not very difficult to resharpen. So, yeah, it's curious. It could be a curio. It is definitely a novelty. It is different. I wouldn't say it's actually weird or strange. People make a big, oh, it's really weird. No, it isn't. There you go. Yeah, learn how to close it properly as well. It's certainly different. It's clever, and I would actually really, really like to get hold of one of the original Scorpio designs to see how it matches up. It's not badly made for the price, and the price, rather strangely, I looked this morning, and they're going between £5 and £23 on various Chinese knockoff websites. £5 if you've got a spare fiver, it makes it's an interesting knife. £23, no, absolutely not.